Hello, guys. Welcome back. So, catch you up on the daily news in the northeast of America. Fimbulwinter is coming because I argued with Odin and he's angry. He actually laid claim to it. I get up and I'm listening to this DJ losing it and screeching that winter is coming and snow is coming and so much snow and much snow. And I'm like, like, he makes it sound like it's going to be like 12 inches or something. And I'm like, oh my God. And you know how you wake up and then you fall asleep, and Odin is saying something, and I often get the words wrong. So instead of Fimbulvinter, I heard like Fistenbull or something. What kind of name is that? But I get up again, and he's a little calmer, the DJ, and apparently we're not all going to die in heaps of snow. It may snow in the morning, the next couple mornings. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe once? Probably not. Not unless you live in the mountains. So, normal weather for this part of the country this time of year. But when I first got up, you would have sworn that, the final winter was coming and we were all going to die. And Odin's glorying in it and saying that he caused it because I made him angry. And I get up. And I've had enough of him because I come down and I'm checking the weather and I'm like, it's going to be in the 50s almost every damn day. It's just going to be cold in the morning. That's what happens in the morning. It's colder than it is in the rest of the day because the sun hasn't come up yet. But I turn into an angry comedian by the time I deal with them. Anyhow, he's taking credit for this. And he says, I showed you who the more powerful god is. I am bringing death and winter. I just looked at him. And I said, this is why people stop serving you. But he's bringing death and winter and killing people because I made him angry. I said, that's not negotiation. And, he got really mad because I made the video last night. He lost his shit. But I said, I did it because actually in heathen community, you're supposed to bring a lot of stuff up to the community. And it's not like I have a community or people. So I said, I made a video and I said, people will be fair. If they think I could be doing more, they'll downvote it, which they fucking did. I said, or if they think you could be doing more, they will say to do more. And I said, most people are going to fall in the middle and tell us to talk things out, which is what the one person brave enough to respond did. Say, talk stuff out. And you do. And just sometimes you feel ignored and you feel like you have to go to the people and say, hey, I'm working with the gods and this shit isn't working out. No relationship, no amount of work you do for the gods. I don't care if you run a channel. I don't care if you do seminars. I don't care if you run a modern day Hoff or something. It doesn't give you special privileges with the gods. I can't emphasize that shit enough. It does not. The gods don't have an extra basket of blessings for those that do this or those that do that. In fact, you get more troubles in your life is what you do. And people have pointed it out. People have said, hey, I run a channel. Hey, I do seminars. Hey, I write books. And all this shit happens in my life. Like, even more than the people I know that just casually serve. And the gods are like, And, you don't know why. It might be because you're in close contact. There's a pagan theory that the most blessed people are actually the people that have the most remote relationship. Take it for what it's worth. That never talk to the gods, that never experience them, those are the people that get the greatest blessings. But the closer a relationship you get, you're giving up blessings. It's like to get closer, you've said, yeah, I could have that nice life back there of getting a lot of blessings, but I'm coming really close because I'm a human and I'm curious, damn it. And the gods are like, okay, I had all these blessings for you, but you want to talk face to face? Fine. Poof, over the shoulder or something. So it does kind of seem like that sometimes that, people will say they wish they could, talk to them all the time. I'm like, no, it does not make stuff easier. In fact, sometimes it makes stuff harder. Um, it's, I kind of watch sometimes like these people in these movies, and not just Christians, but usually it's only Christians you see pray in movies. They pray, and they just seem to get this sense of comfort where if you can have a conversation, sometimes that conversation is not all that comforting. You say, oh, hey, I would like to get X, Y, and Z, um, accomplished, and you get a cranky give me time, that's not always the most comforting response. So, I don't know why I keep looking over Odin's area other than Odin has been talking ominously about Ragnarok and growling and being obstinate. It's like I'm expecting something like wolves to leap out of the altar or something. But yeah, sometimes you have to have those discussions with the gods and you have to bring it in front of the people and say, hey, we have this kind of relationship and I'm doing all this work and nothing's working out. You have to. The worst thing you can do when your relationship's not working is to not seek help. And the one that was the peacemaker last night was actually Mammon. He said, look, and Mammon is gleeful towards some things. He said, look at all those preachers that had the churches during COVID and they trusted their God to protect them. Where are they now? They're dead. That's where they are. Because a whole bunch of those preachers died, by the way. They died. A lot of people in their congregations died. And I'm not laughing at that concept. I'm just like, what did you think would happen? I'm a terrible person. I'm sorry, not really, but I'm a terrible person. Anyhow, he said they died. Because they expected their God to protect them, and really they were doing it so they could get money in their coffers because that's how they live. That's the money they make. They don't have a job other than that, a lot of them. They make money off of running these mega churches, so they want their money. And they died for it too. So he pointed that out. He says, you're not dying. He said, you're not starving, and you've seen how many people aren't getting enough food. He said, you have shelter, da 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 da. And he gave me the Mammon speech. In the Mammon speech, you put your head down. And he goes, I know it seems like they're not pulling their weight, and I know it seems like they've gotten lazy and I'm doing all the work. But he said, at least you got your head above water. And then we discussed stuff that I wish I had in the relationship now that I don't have anymore. And I said, I know it's harder because I used to be more mobile and I at least used to always go out for my groceries, so I'd be going out like a couple times a week, which you can't do now. And I said, I miss all the little trinkets I used to get. I miss all the change I used to find going to the DQ. I miss that. I said, I miss the little trinkets. And it would be stuff, guys, like you'd find like a pen or something by the side of the road, or you'd find a couple coins in the DQ parking lot. It's like those little trinkets that, depending on your face, some people are like, oh, they're from your ancestors or from the angels or from whomever. Atheists will say, well, you just found something on the ground, it's nothing special. But it would feel special because you would be with whatever deity and it would feel special. And it would always, always, always be something that tied into the relationship somehow. Loki has a pile full of stuff that we found on walks or something like that. And I said, I miss that. I miss those little trinkets. I miss those little toys and coins and stones and nuts and stuff like that. I miss those little just so things that were right in your face. Remember all the crow and raven feathers? I was finding little crow feathers. I miss that. I miss having those little tokens. I said that's what the most important part of the relationship was for me. Those little tokens that assured you were being thought of and you were being taken care of. And I said I'm not getting those anymore, and I said, I'm not getting, I understand now. I understand what the hell we're going through. I said, I'm not getting those little extras in my Walmart packages anymore. And I'm not getting like, cute stuff in the mail. And I understand what the fuck we're going through. But I said, I miss all that. I miss being treated like that. And I said, I miss going out to eat and maybe they gave you extra fries or an extra chicken strip or something. Or they mixed up your meal as they always did. And you got like a double cheeseburger when you ordered a cheeseburger and you tried to take it back and they let you keep it. I said, I miss stuff like that. That was the nice stuff. That was the stuff that made you feel loved. And that's what I miss. And they're all like, oh. And there's no way they can give it to me now. I'm not going out walking. It's too goddamn cold right now and COVID, and restrictions, and which are sensible because nobody in this area is taking this seriously, as I've said. So that's why I'm curtailing myself from going out. That is cold because Odin's going to kill everyone with winter. And again, this idea, I said, "I'm not going anywhere anymore." And I realized that time of gifts is over. And I said, sometimes it feels kind of lonely when you're not getting the gifts. And I said, it wasn't anything they bought, you know, and it wasn't anything they had to go out of their way for. It wasn't like I was asking for a mansion or something. I miss finding those little tokens, is what I miss. I said, it makes you feel appreciated. It makes all the hard stuff in the relationship, feel worth it. So I have this kind of quiet in the house, like, and there's nothing they can do. They're not going to physically manifest cute little tokens into the house. I see that sometimes I still from time to time watch those. It's a miracle things. And I don't know why this one came up. I thought it was coming up for Michael, and it was named Michael. And coins start to manifest in these people's lives. Now, the terrible thing was they had lost their son, and then these miracles started to happen. These coins started to manifest everywhere. And at first they were trying to be logical. They thought well-meaning friends were breaking into the house and leaving coins. It sounds insane, but it sounded more sane to them than, yes, my deceased child is leaving me coins everywhere. And after a while, they realized it had to be him because they weren't doing it to each other. They weren't doing it, you have to assume they weren't doing it to each other. Nobody was breaking into their house to do this. It was happening too many different places. Like, she would be out driving and everything, and she would not be carrying Canadian coins. In fact, the first time it happened to the wife, and she said, well, if it had been in the car, how come I hadn't saw it? How come they hadn't fallen to the back of the thing? And she hadn't been carrying Canadian coins, and she didn't even know these were something the son was into because it was sort of a father-son thing. So it was like, if he can do that, and I've seen a lot of like pennies from heaven stuff happen on a lot of these, like the deceased husband or the deceased child will send pennies and that. I'm like, they're doing it inside a house and everything. I'm like, why can't you drop me little tokens? So it's just sad and feeling neglected, and that's okay. Sometimes you're gonna feel sad and neglected. Don't watch those things if they make you feel like that, because I'm like, that's so beautiful. And then I'm thinking, how come I'm not getting, like pennies or coins or even a leaf? I would take a leaf. I'm a pig and I would take a leaf. I would freak out, but then I would take the leaf. Yeah. And I think I keep looking at the altars like, manifest something, show me you love me, and nothing's happening. So I'm just sad today. Um, but sometimes you go through patches like that. You miss when times were really good and they were giving you all the little treasures, and then it stops and you stop feeling special. So whatever you guys are going through, we're all probably going through it together. So whatever, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.